Alright, so today we will discuss conditional sentences, right? Now, before we begin, there are few terms and terminologies which you must know. Conditional sentences are those sentences in which if clause is there and main clause is there. Like there are two clauses attached, and one of the clause will have a clause with if statement, and the other will be the independent clause. Like for example, if you study for 2 hours daily, you will pass. Correct? So if we look at this statement, what is happening? If you study for 2 hours daily, comma, you will get good marks. So दो clauses हैं. If you study for 2 hours daily, the second one is you will get good marks. Correct? So two clauses are there, if clause and main clause. If clause is the dependent clause because it is dependent on the main clause, and main clause is the independent clause. It does not depend on anything. Correct? So this much is clear. That what are if sentences? If sentences are those sentences which are called conditional sentences. Like there is some kind of conditions in that. Like if this will happen, this will happen. If this happens, this will happen. Something of that sort, right? Something is dependent on the occurrence of the other thing. So these are based on certain conditions. So these are called conditional sentences, right? Now, before we delve deeper into it, let us understand that there are 4 types of conditional sentences. What are these? Zero condition, first condition, second condition, and third condition. Correct? So we have 4 kinds of conditional sentences: zero conditional sentences, first conditional sentence, second and the third conditional sentences. Now, apparently these confuse us a lot and we use them a lot, and in general if you see, people do not clearly know what is the difference. Now after today's lecture you will be able to identify that there are different kind of requirements which require different kind of arrangements, right? So today we will see that these conditional statements are not very confusing. They have a clear-cut reason for their usage. Let's wait for 1 second. Fine. So yeah, so we have seen there are 4 kinds of condition. Now these sentences are divided into 2 halves. One is the if clause and the other one is the clause where you will find other kind of auxiliary verbs like can, will, may, might, could, and other things. Correct? Now let's move to the first condition, which is your zero conditional. Now we have many kinds of sentences. Few of the sentences are of those kinds where you speak about general truth or facts. Either there are certain general truth which we call universal truth, which are absolutely the same all the time, or there are certain facts which you are 100% sure. Like for example, in my case, if I know for myself that if I am hungry for continuously for a longer time, my head starts aching, right? So this is a fact which holds true for me. So this is also a fact. Or if we say, if we drop something from above, it falls down. It's a law of gravity. Or let us say, if you boil water at 100 degrees Celsius, it turns into water vapor. Correct? So zero condition will contain those kind of sentences which are fact, right? Like they hold true. Either it holds true for you or it holds true for people in general, right? So the facts or the universal truth are always done in zero conditional. Now we are talking about zero conditional. Let us see what zero conditional is all about. Now zero conditional is a format in which if clause and the main clause, we have already talked about what is the if clause, what is the main clause. Now if clause and the main clause are both in the present format, correct? Like for example, if I boil water at 100 degrees Celsius, yeah, if we boil water at 100 degrees Celsius, what is happening? If we boil, this is a present simple, okay, it turns into water vapor. This main clause is also present simple. So zero conditional, what kind of sentences will it have? It will have those kind of sentences which are universal truth or which are facts. Like if you tease a dog, it barks, right? So this is a fact. If you tease somebody, he retaliates. He or she retaliates. So what is happening here? These are the facts. So now when you are looking at a sentence, you can clearly understand what is a fact. So all the facts will take the construction of zero conditional, correct? That is, I am repeating myself again, if clause will also be in the present simple and main clause will also be in the present simple. Now if I am late for this school, look at the statement, if I am late for the school. Now don't get confused, this am is not an auxiliary verb here. This is a statement. I am late for the school is a statement of present indefinite. There are chances when the students get confused that this am is there. So am is not in the, am is an auxiliary which is of continuous tense. This, please do not get confused. These are the be form of verbs and this is a present form of be, right? Be form of verbs. These are called be form of verbs. So if I am late for the school, my teacher gets angry. Now if clause is also in the present simple and main clause is also in the present simple. So this, as per the zero conditional, this is a fact which holds true for me. I am writing this sentence in zero conditional. That is, if I am late for the school, my teacher gets angry. Clear? Like for example, if I complete this sheet, what can we say? If I oversleep, my mother gets angry, or we can say I get late for my school. If I oversleep, my head aches. If I oversleep, my mom gets angry. We have already done that. So if I oversleep, oversleep is present simple. I oversleep is a statement of present simple. It will take along with it another present simple to make it in a zero conditional format. That is, it is something which is true. I'm repeating myself again and again. Zero conditional will always take those kinds of sentences which are true. Either it is true for you or it is a universal truth. Okay. So facts are done with present simple and present simple. So let's see. If I oversleep, I miss the bus. If I oversleep, present simple, I miss the bus. This is also present simple. This is a fact. When you oversleep, you get up late and you miss the. If you want to insert one more sentence, you can add. If I oversleep, I get up late and I miss the bus. Right? So when you miss the bus, what happens? If I miss the bus, I am late for the school. Again, I am bringing your attention to the fact that this am is a main verb, because many a times students have this kind of confusion, which is quite viable, that they get confused that am is an auxiliary. Am is not an auxiliary. For a verb to be an auxiliary verb, it is necessary that it should be followed by a main verb. So as you can see, we do not have any other verb. This am itself is a verb, and to understand it rightly, you can explore be form of verbs. So be form of verbs, this is one of the be form of verbs. So if I miss the bus, I am late for the school. If present simple, and this is also a present simple. Correct? Shall we move ahead? If I am late for the school, my teacher gets angry. Again, if you look at the statement, if I am late for the school, my teacher gets angry. So both are in present simple. So I will summarize before I move to the first conditional. What is a zero conditional? Zero conditional is that kind of if statement in which we are joining two clauses, and what is a precondition here? These two clauses should hold true in all the condition, right? Either they should be universal truth, or they should be a fact for you or fact for somebody you know, right? And what will be the construction? The construction will be if will be followed by the present simple clause, and the second clause will also be the second clause, or we can say the independent clause or the main clause will also be the present simple. Here one more thing it is good for you that you understand is that if clause is the dependent clause and the other clause is the main clause. Now if you have if clause in the beginning, see, we can write the sentence in two ways. Either we can bring this if clause in the beginning, or we can bring this if clause in the last. Okay. So one thing more you must understand, if you are bringing this if clause, like in this statement, we are having this if clause in the beginning. This comma is there to separate the two clauses. But if you have the main clause in the beginning, like for example, if I say, my teacher gets angry. My teacher gets angry. Okay. If I am late for the school. Now if you look at this one, I have brought the main clause in the beginning and dependent clause in the last. If such a case happens, this comma will get deleted. We will no longer will have this comma. Okay. So if I reverse this, my comma will also get deleted. So my teacher gets angry if I am late for the school. It will be without a comma. So clear about this much? We will discuss the remaining portion in the next class.